Hello and a warm welcome to this Bihar Result Day live coverage. And as we speak, it's almost like 5:30 p.m. And after 9 hours of vote counting, almost 9 hours or a little more than that, NDA has a clear lead on about 203 seats. With leads on 92 seats, BJP is heading towards a record victory. Now, Nitish Kumar led JDU is leading on 83 seats. This is around 5 p.m. what the figures are coming in. Chirag Paswan's party has a 19-seat lead. Then Jiten Ram Majhi's HAM is leading on 5 seats, and RLM has a lead on 4 seats. So that's where the NDA stands. And the Mahagathbandhan has a paltry lead and is now almost gasping for a hold uh, on even 40 seats. The RJD is leading on about 26 seats, what I see across the channels. And while the Congress has a lead on 5 seats, CPIML has a lead on 2 seats, and CPM has had a lead on 1 seat. So that is what the complete picture looks like. And just a short while back, Prime Minister Modi has congratulated Nitish Kumar and other allies on the NDA win. And he says that Bihar has voted on the track record, which means he's saying that Bihar has voted for Sushasan, good governance. But as what we have seen, the things have unfolded since morning. In the morning, early morning, around 7:30 or 8, we saw posters of Nitish Kumar all across Patna. Then there had been few cries from within the JDU camp where people said that we want to see Nitish. I saw one tweet which was put out by the JDU saying that Nitish pehle mukhyamantri the aur abhi bhi mukhyamantri rahenge. Then that tweet was deleted. That's what I'm told by a few JDU leaders also. That tweet no more exists, so that has been deleted. And for the evening, I'm not sure. I think Puneet will be able to tell us if there are any plans of any sort of a victory rally, which normally happens at the BJP headquarters. I think it would be planned, but I'm not sure of the time right now. So we'll head straight into the discussion. And also the big question that now, since BJP is the single largest party, will they let Nitish Kumar become the chief minister? Joining me this evening is Puneet Nicholas Yadav, political editor of the Federal. Thank you so much, Puneet, for joining. We have TK Raj Lakshmi, who's a senior editor with The Hindu. Thank you so much for joining. We have Dr. Sanjay Kumar, who is a professor of the political science at Patna A&M College. Thank you so much, Professor Sanjay. And I'll begin with Puneet so that he can put the things in perspective, and also as to what the evening plan for the BJP is. Puneet, what are your sources telling you? And this bit about how this tweet has been deleted by the JDU handle had put it out, and then it has been deleted. So anything you're hearing about Nitish Kumar's chief ministership, except for the cliched response that no, all the MLAs now will decide.
Well, I don't know about the deleted tweet, Neelu, but yes, I mean, as far as the BJP is concerned, I believe the Prime Minister will go to the BJP headquarters at around 7 or past, shortly past 7 o'clock for the usual, jamboree that follows after such kind of a result for the BJP. And yes, I mean, for Nitish, even though 83 seats out of the 101 that they had contested, not a bad figure, but also not a victory that he would personally be very happy about, considering that the BJP is now at 92. And yes, I mean, his loyalists, the old guard of the party continues to maintain that it should be him leading the alliance. It should be because the votes were cast for his governance, for his Mahila Rozgar Yojana and all of that. But whether the BJP gives into that, or at least, for a short time after the results, for maybe 6 months, lets him be the chief minister and then eases him out. These are all questions that I think you'll only have clarity. Perhaps, I mean, there may be some signs from what the Prime Minister says, once he addresses at the BJP headquarters. But I think these are questions that you'll have more clarity on tomorrow, perhaps not today. And I'm also told that even the LJP, which is now at 19 seats, will they have also kind of sent a quiet word to the leadership, considering that it's a party that's led by the Prime Minister's Hanuman. Uh, they've sent a word, kind of lobbying for the deputy CM's post. So, I mean, that kind of lobbying has already begun. Now, the last time around with Nitish as CM, the BJP had two deputy chief ministers. So, it would be interesting. I think, I mean, the election now has gone past a fight between the NDA and the Grand Alliance. It's now a fight within the NDA on who should be the chief minister, who should kind of be at the steering wheel of the government. So
Right.
that is what we'll now be waiting for. And I guess you'll have more answers tomorrow, perhaps not today.
Right. Rashakshmi, I'll come to you.
Yeah.
Uh, is Nitish Kumar really in a pitiable situation? Even though the kind of numbers which he has got, but as Puneet pointed out, that on the personal front, he wouldn't have liked this kind of a victory, where he
Mhm.
normally is known to be a man who operates on his own terms and conditions. He likes to walk out, he likes to walk in at his own whims and fancies. But he has been, I mean, his screws have been tightened almost now by the BJP in a way that now he cannot walk out, and he will have to latch on to BJP come what may.
Well, it's not a very nice situation that he finds himself in. And as Puneet said, in fact, very rightly, the fact that the BJP has scored, in fact, far ahead than what the JDU has, I think it puts him in I mean, a little bit of a compromised situation. Okay. Now I think the NDA is going to face, a problem of plenty. That's a fact, because even without the LGP, they can still form the government. I mean, they can still have their way. Both the main two the two main constituents, that is the BJP, the JDU. So even if Chirag Paswan, I mean, he makes a demand. I mean, it is not necessary that it may be fulfilled, because I think they can do without him also. But the fact remains that the fact that he came back to the alliance, and that there has been, a transfer of votes, across, which has sort of benefited the NDA in a huge way. Because I think the LGP is being sort of credited as being as being, one of the reasons for this NDA's good performance. The comeback of Chirag into the NDA's fold. And of course, the other aspect about smart caste alliances, harm and all that also, right? Because I think the MGB, they haven't really lost out, on their vote share as such. So they have in fact managed to hold on to what they had in 2020. And yes, it's a decline from what is secured, in 2024, in the 2024 Lok Sabha. It's a little climb down from that, definitely, but they have managed to hold on to what they had secured in the 2020 state assembly elections. So it's not such a huge loss for them. I think I mean, I think that that the ruling, or rather the victor, in alliance, has, I think, more to worry about, because a problem of plenty is a big headache, because will stake claim to that. Okay, now of course the BJP is also going to assert, definitely, yes. And the fact that, BJP spokespersons have been attributing the victory, to Mr. Modi, and not to Nitish Kumar's Sushasan and the other things. They've also been saying that it's basically, the Labharti model, okay, of the BJP that has clicked. So here, you can't give, Nitish Kumar also too much credit. I mean, this is not what they're saying, but this is what they mean essentially. So you can sense the tension. Actually, you can sense the tension, and they have been at pains to keep on repeating that no, we are together. I mean, I'm saying, why should you state that also? You'd say that that is a no-brainer. I mean, it's not an issue at all to even ask a question whether the NDA is together or not. So they have been at pains to to keep on, clarifying this. No, no, we are together. We are an alliance. We will. But there is some sort of discomfiture. In fact, definitely, and ultimately, Nilu, this entire way in which this election was fought, the question of ethical issues, about this 10,000, thing being announced just a week before the scheme, coming into effect just a week before the MCC kicked in, and then it been continued after the elections were announced. So these are questions which will definitely sort of boomerang at some stage. It's not going to. I mean, it may
No,
have
but
sort of given. Yeah.
no, but Rajlakshmi, when you if you talk to the BJP about these ethics, then they will feel that this is a loser's tone, and that's how they come back with all these issues. And there are many issues which are related to ethics, but in politics, does that matter? And is it not? Unethicality has become a new normal, it seems, in Indian elections.
Yeah, but ultimately, Nilu, there is I think like a limit to which you can address people's issues with just a 10,000 transfer, because the whole issue of migration, the whole issue of unemployment. I mean, these are real issues, So I think the India has bought itself this election to an extent, and yes, people voted for it, good or bad, bad. Yes, they did vote for it, so one can't really fault them for that. But then the desperation levels are so high that they really feel that that they are going to that something is going to come out of this. But
Right.
sadly, just by having airports and just by having hotels and roads, I mean, I was listening to the entire reasons, this whole because model is just that, just
Mhm.
pandering and catering to the classes that have money. I mean, otherwise, as if the issue of poverty in Bihar is gone, the issue of unemployment has been addressed.
Yeah,
It's not been wished away. So these issues
absolutely.
are going to fester. 5 years
Right.
they're won. There's no issue about it. I mean, other than the fact that they're going to have issues within the NDA itself. I think these are the issues which are going to come up. And yeah.
Right. In fact, 20 years of NDA rule also hasn't brought down the poverty level. It still remains the state with the lowest per capita income. But I'll come back to the tug of war within the NDA. Professor Sanjay, if you can elaborate on that. So, what can we expect in the coming weeks or months as far as this tug of war between JDU and BJP is concerned? Are we going to see further commotion, or for now, at least they'll keep quiet and maybe, like Puneet said, that after 6 months down the line, these signs of strain will start becoming more visible? And can it then, come to a breaking point? What will happen there?
Well, I think the situation in the NDA right now, bickering is there right from very beginning of the election and before election also, and we all witnessed the post of CM was very much it was delayed by BJP, and at the end they never declared officially, though their ministers used to say that Nitish will become the CM. Even now, after the result, they are not saying anything about the chief ministership. That is there. And what you said in the beginning, that the Twitter handle at the JDU Twitter handle, they have removed that post where it was written that
I will try and see if
Nitish
I can
will be
share that. I
in
have
the
a
past,
screenshot
in
of.
the present.
Yeah, please go ahead. Yeah, yeah, please go ahead. I was saying that I'll try and share that. I have that screenshot with me, so I see if I can share that Twitter handle. Uh, in the meanwhile, you go ahead. I'll just try and share it with my colleague. Yeah.
Mhm. So that is they have just deleted it. It means all is not well in NDA itself. In the beginning, in my opinion, they will declare. No doubt, they will declare Nitish Kumar as a CM. But how long he will stay there on that post, it is very, very questionable. And I don't think that he is going to be there at that post for more than 6 months, because in the meantime, what BJP will do, they will just consolidate their position to just to have clear cut just to have you can say just to have their support at the center. This will happen. So in that situation, and on the other hand, Nitish is not used to work under pressure. So here you see the number, then BJP along with LJP can easily form government. So that pressure will be there with Nitish Kumar. Nitish Kumar is not in a position to form government while defecting from this alliance and joining hands with RJD. That option is not there. So in that situation, Nitish Kumar will have to work under pressure of BJP. That is very much clear. And in that situation, how long he will stay there, it is very difficult to say.
I will interrupt
And
you, Professor. Now,
then
this is no. I just want to draw the attention of the viewers. Now, this was a tweet I was talking about. Janta Dal United. This is the Twitter handle from which it was tweeted. It says "Na bhuti na bhavishyata." Nitish Kumar Bihar के मुख्यमंत्री थे और रहेंगे. Now this tweet doesn't exist on the Twitter line of JDU. So this was a tweet I talked about. Somebody sent me a screenshot and then I verified it, and then that's how it was. Yes, please go ahead. Yes, Professor Sanjay.
now it's very much clear when it has been deleted. If it has been deleted, then the message is clear that they are not confident. JDU is not very much confident, and in that situation, even though Nitish Kumar has won, his party has won around 82 seats. We guess that because in 82 seats they are leading, even they get 82 seats. I don't think that Nitish Kumar will be very much thrilled, very happy, because that situation where he can dictate the agenda, where he can dictate the whole situation, political situation, that thing has gone. And in this situation, and at the center, what the central government was just moving on the two Baisakis of one from Nitish Kumar and another from Naidu. So one Baisakhi is now have become, less strengthened. In that situation, that is also a message to Naidu that look, if you if you demand unusual things, if you demand more things for your state, your future will be the same what Nitish Kumar has got that future. So in that situation, I don't think that the path for Nitish Kumar is very,
Right.
very smooth. It is not there. And also, they have together won more than 200 seats. So it will be a problem for them also to adjust most of the people. And also,
Right.
there will be a demand from LJP to just make that that leader for deputy chief minister, and that demand will have to be fulfilled by BJP. So in
No,
that
you're right.
situation, the
Yeah.
I think the
Yes.
so it is not very rosy picture for even
Hmm.
India.
All right. So BJP has managed to enfeeble Nitish Kumar, and that's true. They've sent out a message to other allies also that now nobody can play any tricks. So in that way, BJP looks like on the driver's seat, much in control of the situation in Bihar and also at the central level. But I want to talk about the Grand Alliance now. Puneet, I'll come to you now. Uh, Now, this is definitely not a result which opposition would have thought of. Now that the result almost looks the numbers almost look stable. What are you hearing from the opposition camp, especially from within the Congress, which has performed so pathetically? Then also RJD, Vikashsheel Insan Party. Now, what are you hearing from their sources? Yashwant Sinha put out a tweet saying that the opposition should boycott elections till the time Ganesh Kumar remains the CEC. Priyanka Gandhi put out a tweet saying that the real victory is, can be attributed to Gyanish Kumar, and she's put out a picture where he's sitting on an arrow with a lotus placard in his hand. So all those things are happening on the social media. But what is going to be the opposition's next move?
Well, as of now, I don't think that the shock of this defeat is so huge that the next move hasn't really been thought of. Whoever I've spoken to as of now in any of these Grand Alliance parties, they're of course all quite shocked at how the results have panned out. To say that these haven't been as per expectations would be a huge understatement. But till about half an hour, 40 minutes back, they were worried that, whether even Tejashwi will manage to win or not. It's only much later in the day, I think around the 25th or the 26th round of counting, that Tejashwi started taking a lead finally. And he's now, with two more rounds left in Raghopur, he's now, I think, leading with a lead of about 13,000 votes. So it's not a very happy situation for them. But you see, unfortunately, I think more than how they're going to react to it or what they're going to do next, the problem with these opposition parties, and it's not just about the Congress, but all opposition parties in general, is that instead of going to the root cause of the problem, there will be a lot of bickering and blame game. And so, like about an hour back, Akhilesh Prasad Singh, who, if it was left to him, he would have wrecked the alliance much before the elections itself. But he was on record saying, we will introspect about the results, but these questions on, why the Congress performed poorly or why the RJD should perform poorly should not be asked to me. These questions should be put to Krishna Alavaru and to Sanjay Yadav.
Hmm.
You know, uh, and I mean, this is a man who's a Rajya Sabha MP, who's a former Bihar Congress president, who was constantly seen, although he's with the Congress, he's constantly seen with Tejashwi. So, I mean, there are these kind of voices that will come. Mr. Abdul Bari Siddiqui, who's one of the tallest leaders in the RJD after Mr. Lalu Yadav, and is the vice president of the party, he has just put out, he spoke to some people essentially saying that once the results are all in, the RJD's leaders from Bihar need to sit and discuss what went wrong. And he put a lot of stress that these should be leaders from Bihar, essentially saying we don't want Sanjay Yadav, poking his nose into this. So now, if it is going to be that kind of an introspection, I don't think it's going to lead any of these parties anywhere.
Yes.
If they need to look at, where things went wrong, because clearly this is, as I've been saying since the morning, this is a result that is in complete, it's completely contrary to what we saw on the ground in Bihar. It does not reflect the ground realities of the election. And I think those are the reasons that these parties need to see that what went wrong at at what level in the polling, and how much of this has to do with the fact that you had close to 50 lakh voters deleted, or the 20 lakh who've been added to the voter rolls have been added without any transparency. Who are those 20 lakh, 21 lakh voters who've been added? I think those are the things that they need to go into details, instead of pointing fingers at each other and saying you dragged us down and you were responsible for this. I don't think that's going to get them anywhere. You have the Parliament session coming up from the 1st of December. I'm sure there'll be the BJP. You'll again see all those scenes of the Prime Minister walking into Parliament, and all the BJP MPs shouting Modi, Modi and all. But what one has to wait and see is what kind of legislative agenda they bring. And
Yeah,
then to that, how do the opposition parties respond? Will this
absolutely.
also have an impact on their unity within the
Correct.
opposition parties? Please don't forget, this whole SIR thing isn't over. You have the phase one of nationwide SIR going on, uh, and one of those states is going to be Bengal, where elections are due early next year.
Hmm.
So for Mamta Banerjee, it might be very tempting now to come and start, slamming the Congress again. But she might be next.
Absolutely.
So
Uh,
I mean, there's a
right.
lot here for the opposition also to think about. I'll just quickly add one aside to to what TK was saying. Where she put forth a scenario where the BJP may not need to oblige any demands coming from the LJP. But please also consider a scenario where the BJP, given the current how the numbers stack up, uh, is also within, like 2 or 3 MLA short minus the JDU's tally to
Yeah.
form the government on its own in
Hmm.
Bihar. And so the only complicated bit here for both the JDU and the BJP, and more for the BJP than the JDU, is that the JDU has 12 members of parliament in 12 members in the Lok Sabha,
Yeah.
whose support is crucial for the survival of the government. So and so I mean it's not a happy situation to be in either of these alliances, despite this kind of, and including the winning alliance, despite the kind of victory that they have scored today. And having said that, I once again I'd say that this is not a result that shows that is
Yes.
anywhere close to what one was seeing on the ground.
Yes, Puneet, and you'd been traveling, and every program we did together, and you had kept on saying that it looks like a close contest between NDA and Grand Alliance. We were talking about the opposition. Jayant Jigyasu from RJD joins us. Jayant, it's not a happy evening for you. What is the next course of action, and what would you say at this point of time? Normally, at the end of every election, the cliched phrase which used to come from the leaders was जनता का जनादेश है हम उसे एक्सेप्ट कर लेंगे माननीय है it's a people's mandate we have to respect that used to be the line which was thrown by all the leaders at the end of every election result and now what would you say.
Unfortunately, it doesn't seem to be people's mandate. Rather, it's managed, and it doesn't express the very sentiments of the people. And we political actors uh, think that we don't do politics of despair, but of hope. So we will analyze the results, and we will sit and discuss all the aspects, and we will come up with certain programs and go to the masses. But one thing is clear that the very election commission has made the elections in this country very futile exercise. And if the people of India lose trust in this process, then it won't be a happy sign or positive sign for a healthy democracy. Unfortunately, that is happening, and the whole election process has become a futile exercise, and they are doing mockery of democracy, and we are seeing travesty of the system. So this mandate is unimaginable, unbelievable, and I think it can't be acceptable to most of us. So
I used
the
to follow
election
the
commission and the ruling dispensation have made it possible for the JDU, BJP, and the whole NDA alliance. That is what we are
But what
saying.
will happen to the vote chor, gaddi chor slogan now? Because I remember even RJD, I mean Tejashwi Yadav, during the Vote Adhikar Yatra had chanted this slogan. Now, are you going to carry forward that campaign? What will happen? Congress spokesperson is not there on our show, but I'm sure we would have asked him or her the same question. So, what will happen to that campaign now?
No, this vulgar sort of exercise and not very practical way of conducting SIR. It didn't stop in Bihar. Now it will be conducted in rest of the country. And the very historic turnout in Bihar was a clear-cut expression of revolt against bad governance, misrule, loot, rape, complete absence of the government, and murder of law and order. People voted for change, for affordable education, quality education, better health system, at
No,
least
but
one government job to every
it,
family,
no,
implementation of old pension scheme. But this result are not uh, expressing their sentiments.
right. You may
So
talk
that
about
is
the
tragic.
mandate. According to you, you are saying that this looks like a doctored mandate and it's not an acceptable one. You also have an excuse for the SIR. But what I want to ask you, if you look at the mainstream channels, all the political analysts sitting there, they are saying that Tejasvi was not able to counter the Jungle Raj narrative which the BJP and the entire NDA put out.
They are playing the same cassette since last 20 years. Even in the songs of Sharda Sinha, there is a great variety, a great range. But our people don't get disturbed when they start portraying our tenure as Jangal Raj. Founding, establishing 7 universities. Does it fall under the notion of Jangal Raj? Providing 2 days leave for the working women during menstruation. Can one call it Jangal Raj? Opening a maximum number of hospitals, primary schools, subdivisions, blocks, districts. Can one call it Jangal Raj? So it was the golden period for the vulnerable section, and people
No,
started
what Happy did
feeling the very belongingness to the soil of this country, and that
no, but
was
you were not
silent
able to
revolution.
communicate. Jayant, your party was not able to communicate these things which you did for the people, and which is why BJP overrode, on that perception that look, this is what was all Jungle Raj, and it was a complete law and order mayhem. So, which means that somewhere down the line, your party needs to realize that you have not been able to counter the Jungle Raj narrative. How do you do that? You need to communicate your developments also.
Because we can't compete with the propaganda and the level of lies uh, uh, they are spreading. But yes, we have our own ways.
isn't this
Uh,
problem isn't this problem going to continue for the next election also? Are we not going to hear the opposition saying the same thing, that we cannot counter the propaganda? We've been hearing for so many years the opposition saying this, that we cannot match up with the propaganda level of BJP. What will you do now? What is the option left for the opposition parties? If you look at the numbers, I see 25, RJD is 25, Congress is 6. What will happen? It's like a complete decimation of the opposition in Bihar.
this is how a dictatorial setup works. And we will go directly to the masses, we will communicate with them, and we will adopt a very traditional method. We will start doing chopal sort of public meetings, like once upon a time Lohia used to do. That is the only way
Wasn't
left to
Tejasvi
us.
doing this? Wasn't Tejasvi doing this in this election as well? You were going out to the people. We saw a huge crowd rallying behind Tejasvi. Where was the shortcoming? I want to understand from you that where was the shortcoming you felt, according to you?
Undoubtedly, Tejasvi Yadav is a man of commitment, integrity, and I see him as compassion, innocence, honesty, truthfulness personified. And we rarely find uh, such kind of graceful statesmen these days. So we will march under his visionary leadership,
Do you
and
regret,
in a
Jay?
very short stint of 10 years as a legislator and the deputy CM and the leader opposition, he actively participated in the legislation with an eye on the weaker section. So we will
No, but
continue to do so.
do you feel now at the end of this election that maybe the distribution of seats wasn't done very efficiently. Maybe you would have given lesser number of seats to Congress. Maybe that coordination was lacking somewhere. Tejasvi's name as TM was declared late. All that happened, and there were reports that there was some kind of a rift between Congress and RJD. So was that also one of the contributing factors, that somewhere there was a lack of coordination between the Grand Alliance parties?
I humbly accept that there were many shortcomings, and it could be handled better way. And success has many fathers, and failure has none. But we will improve. And as Ernest Hemingway says in his celebrated novel Old Man and the Sea, that a man can be destroyed but not defeated. So we will fight back, we will retaliate with the spirit of Santiago. And the day will come when we will wipe out this kind of communal fascist forces from this country.
All right. Our political editor Puneet is also there. Puneet, you would want to ask
Thank
questions
you.
to Jayant?
I'll
Oh, Acha,
have to
Jayant is
go.
going. Acha, can you take one question from Puneet? Jayant,
Ash,
Jayant
Ash,
has to go
please,
to some
please.
other show.
No, I think he's pretty much covered
Okay.
the issues. I think you
Okay.
asked him the questions that.
Thank you.
Jayant, thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. He's
Thank you.
going
Thank you.
for another channel debate. So thank you so much. Okay, I'll come back to Raj Lakshmi now. You heard Jayant what he had to say, and
Yes, yes.
I mean,
Very
what would you
rousing,
say?
I must say, and the streak of optimism is always good. To say that at least it is one day, the the oppression Raj will get over, and that people will sort of see through the whole chicanery, the entire make believe world that has been created in front of them. They talk about jungle Raj. So what are they presenting? Hotel Raj and airport Raj. I mean, one can easily sort of make these kind of counter poses, isn't it? And the fact remains is that the jungle Raj becomes jungle Raj only when people start asserting themselves. I mean, as if there wasn't anything happening prior to the Mandal Commission, after it was implemented, right? Because it is then that assertion starts really. Till then it was oppression through and through. I mean, and we've got people who have written books on Bihar too. I mean, there was, of course, M.G. Akbar's famous book was there in Riot After Riot.
Just
Okay, it was
interrupting
not.
you.
Yeah.
Nitish's first response is coming, and all the channels are breaking that story. That Nitish Kumar thanks the voters of the state of Bihar. He's citing immense unity within the NDA fold. NDA demonstrated complete unity. This is the first reaction coming from Nitish, also thanking the people of Bihar. He also thanks PM Modi for all the support. So these are the initial comments coming from Nitish. Yes, Raj Lakshmi, and then I'll go to Professor
Yeah,
Sanjay.
yeah, just two small points. Essentially the opposition, now that the MGB is going to sit in the opposition, they have to sort of consistently raise people's issues. I mean, he said, Jan said that that we have to go to the people, but it can't be just before the elections that you hold chopals. It has to be consistently, throughout the next 5 years. They have to raise people's issues. Otherwise, there's no other way. And you have to take on the ruling party. I mean, of course, happens to be the NDA, but then that's the only way to sort of make yourself heard. It can't just be done by saying that the vote process is faulty. Of course, that is, I think, like a battle which will have to be fought, politically, and not just legally, because legally one has seen to what extent you can really achieve some things. So it is also part, of the political battle, raising the election related frauds or election related issues. So yeah, so it has to be done sort of consistently. I don't think there's any that the MJB really has to feel really low and down and out, but clearly that 10,000 thing, probably it was the game changer. It really created this spurt of surge in voting for the NDA alliance. And but then there's also a question, to what extent should any party stoop to that level, isn't it? I mean, there's also a certain mark to which we should not stoop below. So I think the
Right.
MGB has done well in that sense, and they have raised pertinent questions, and of course the NDA has set a very wrong precedent by this entire scheme, announcing just a week before the elections, and then the cash transfer issue. I mean, it's a bad precedent essentially, because this can just lead to other parties also doing it, and one just hopes that 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 most parties, will not do, will not
Right.
go down this way, and will expose them for what they are. Yeah.
Right. Professor Sanjay, what do you think is going to be the impact of this Bihar election result on other regional parties? Now, like Akhilesh Yadav also tweeted saying that, this SIR is, we are going to see a repeat in West Bengal, in Tamil Nadu, in Kerala. What do you think is going to be the impact on other regional players? You remember when this one nation, one election was happening, even then the opposition parties were saying that the regional players will get decimated, and ultimately it's going to be only the two national parties which will survive. Now the process seems to have begun somewhere with the SIR. Look what's happening to RJD. RJD is almost on the verge of, I mean, even though their vote share is intact, but look at the number of seats which they have won. That's I mean, that's something which nobody expected. So what would you see to the emergence of the regional parties now after this Bihar election? Yes, Professor Sanjay, can you hear me?
I am supposed to answer.
Yes, yes,
Okay.
yes.
The issue of SIR, uh, when it was raised, just before this election process started here in Bihar, at that time also, I said that this issue should be picked up in the Bihar election strongly. And when Ms. Rahul Gandhi went away from Bihar, this issue was not raised properly as it should have been raised. When Rahul Gandhi came back, and when that episode at Haryana happened, when they showed in the big screen uh, those uh, those things, then again this issue picked up. So, if this issue would have been raised strongly from very beginning of the election, the situation scenario could have been different. I am very much sure. This thing is there. And the second thing, what a spokesperson of RJD told right now, he was defending his party and his party's stand and actions, policies very well. This should be communicated on the ground level, which they failed to do. What they are doing, only on the eve of election, they start campaigning, they organize big rallies, and all those things they do. But when the election is over, they detach from the public. So this should not be there. And all through the 5 years, they should be very much engaged with all sorts of programs, which keeps. On the other hand, you see Nitish Kumar, what he is doing, maybe misusing the machinery, administrative machinery, but all the time on yatras in Bihar, he is connecting with the people. And the same thing on the larger scale, BJP is doing in Bihar. BJP's organization is very, very strong, and what a top leader says, that is very much very easily communicated on the ground. This thing is missing in all the opposition parties, and small parties. The situation is very worse. They are on the mercy of big regional parties. You take the case of Majhi's parties, Upendra Kushwaha's parties, and other small parties. And RJD, when they get rid of these things, certainly they can come back. I cannot say right now that they will bounce back, but they can come back. And this, with this optimism, I think first of all they should accept the mandate, whatever, whether it's in favor of other parties, or and they should not sit idle. They should start some campaign, small programs they should start, and this program should go on all through the 5 years. Only then the party can be revived. This is my opinion.
I'll come to Puneet now. That Puneet, what do you think now? How is the opposition really going to react now? Say, for example, Jayant from RJD was saying that we'll sit and calibrate now. What's happening in the Congress's camp? Because everybody was saying that Congress was the weakest link within the Grand Alliance. But what next are we going to hear from Congress? You remember they had carried out a huge signature campaign also after this Vote Adhikar Yatra and after the Vote Chori campaign, which they mounted. All those presentations made by Rahul Gandhi. Is all that going to continue? Few Congress leaders were also saying that, all these signatures which we have collected, we will take all of them to the President of India. In fact, recently DK Shivakumar was here and he said that we've got so many signatures from Karnataka. So what's going to happen to all that campaign now?
Well, they can submit all the signatures they like, but the fact is, unless you have that kind of mobilization on the ground, uh, that's really not going to help you. The problem here is, and see, of course, specifically with regard to the Bihar election, to now beat up the Congress, calling it the weakest link in the alliance makes no sense considering how the numbers have stacked up. Pretty much all the constituents of the alliance have turned out to be the weakest links. I look at the left, which had an exceptionally good strike rate 5 years ago, is now struggling on the CPI-M on one seat and the ML Liberation on 3 seats. So, I mean, I'm detaching this from the Bihar scenario. The fact is that the opposition needs to, one, it needs to make up its mind collectively, not as individual parties, but collectively, on how it wants to engage with the election commission and the electoral process at large. If you keep saying that fine, the voter list is a problem, the election commission is a problem, fine, you have to raise those issues. But then you go and contest the elections, and over again, state after state, it's the same kind of result and same kind of response. We will sit and introspect. What introspection are you actually doing? How is it impacting your organization on the ground or how the elections are being fought? We can blame the BJP and the JDU and the central government for all we want. We can say that this 10,000 rupees transfer was a direct bribe transfer, that had been that's been camouflaged as a direct benefits transfer. You can say all of that, but then in an election, fine, they are using the tools that they can use. What are the tools available to the opposition?
Uh,
They don't have any of the organizations, the institutions under their control. All they have is their ability to go to the people. At least do that. At least make the changes in your organization that you're able to make. Look at the Congress party. How many? I mean, I've lost count of the number of elections they've lost in the last 11 years, or rather, the last 5 years. Look at their general secretary organization, Mr. K.C. Venugopal. He sits pretty, on that post. There's nobody I've met in the Congress who's happy with it. But he's still there, and he'll be there even after this result. Mr. Krishna Alavaru, I don't know, what logic went into appointing him as the Bihar in charge, what background he had with regard to, his engagement with Bihar in the past, that he was made in charge. Everybody in the state complained about him. Nothing, made a difference to the Congress leadership. Same lot of complaints were coming from the RJD against Mr. Sanjay Yadav's role in the party. Even in the left, in the CPI-ML, I have, because I've been engaged with Bihar in different ways. My contacts who were working from the civil society, who were working very hard during the SIR in getting, people who had been removed from the voter lists brought back onto the voter lists, or raising their complaints and claims and objections. Several of them who I spoke to, and quite a few of them happen to be people working in constituencies where either there is a CPI MLA or a CPM MLA. They said that, we would go to, say, Gopal Ravidas and say that, this is happening in your constituency. These are your voters who are being removed from the electoral rolls. At least, we're people from the civil society. We don't have the resources. At least give us some resources that we can, take help of and raise the complaints and, file the applications as and where required. And they said we just hit a wall because Mr. Gopal Ravidas was not interested in helping out. They said, oh, very good. You're doing this work. Very good. That was the only support they got. So that's not, I mean, one can sit and count a whole lot of problems with the opposition. That's also true. I mean, when they lose an election, we all come down like a ton of bricks on them, and it's the same litany of complaints that we've had with the opposition for the last 11 years, which we'll repeat like a tape recorder, But there's a set of political things that they can do, which they are not doing, which is a fact. And it's also a fact that there are issues of systemic failures, systems being compromised, where they don't really stand a chance to do anything.
Yeah.
I mean, if the election commission is behaving in a certain way, what can the opposition do there? We've seen how their petitions in the courts are handled.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's a combination of both. It's not a happy situation for them either.
Yeah. Okay, so I think this is all we could discuss. But as we wind up on all the TV channels now, the visuals coming in from the BJP headquarters, reporters have started streaming live. I can see Rajnath Singh walking into the BJP headquarters. Amit Shah received a bouquet and he's just walking in. So those are the visuals with which we'll sign off. And I'm sure just a short while from now, Prime Minister Modi also will be entering and receiving a huge applaud. And then, of course, we'll have to look forward to what Prime Minister has to say this evening after the Bihar election results. But what a baffling result is all what we can say. Nobody had expected. It's something we do not know what to say. And everybody is thinking whether we got it wrong or not. But this is certainly something which was not visible on the ground. We'll have to end it here. Thank you so much, Rajlakshmi, Dr. Sanjay. Thank you very much for joining.
Thanks.